All right, we're back. I ain't gonna waste your time. Let's get straight into it. Now, you try to text girls. You may be one of those absolute legends that has built up enough confidence to go out in the world and cold approach girls and ask for their numbers. And by some amazing luck, you've got a few numbers, and you go and text them, whatever, you get a few messages in, and all of a sudden, they're gone, ghosted you. Now, it's happened before. You may even last a bit longer, you may last a couple of days even, but, within a short period of time, they're either ghosted you or they're just not replying, or they take ages to reply. And it's frustrating. It really is annoying because, if you're anything like me, you try and, actually find out if this person's, actually, ready to go on a date or compatible or whatever, But that's not really, that's kind of the wrong way to go about it. And, I've learnt this the hard way, and I'm going to try and save you from learning the same fate. Now, what I've found and what seems to be the general consensus is a girl will text back depending on how interested or how interesting the conversation is. So if you're being one of those, this applies also with like dating apps and that kind of thing. If you're being boring and generic, hi, how you going, that kind of stuff, boring stuff, how's your day, what are you doing, all that boring stuff, you're going to get short answers, and she's going to lose interest very quickly and move on. Because you got to think, most women have a lot of guys in their DMs. And so if a majority of those are just saying the boring shit, then you're just another number, in a 35 messages or whatever. You're just one of that 35. Now, you've basically only got one shot at it, And so just, in order to, like I said, keep the conversation interesting. Now, how you do that depends on both you, the girl, the situation, but generally that's why I try and when I do message girls or whatever, I try and be different, because again, different is naturally going to be just more interesting because you don't see it very often. And I've been just starting my messages with something stupid, I went through a phase I was saying howdy with the cowboy emoji, and that was working quite well. I was getting responses, and that was my go-to on dating apps. Because you gotta think, how many guys are gonna go out of their way and say howdy? It's just different, And she's like, oh, that's different. I'll see what he has to say. And, then you've got your foot in the door. She's clicked on your message, she's engaged. And so, she'd be like, hi, hey, how are you, whatever. And you gotta go bang and keep it interesting, Get away from the small talk as soon as possible and get into something interesting, The easiest way to actually do this is completely ignore whatever she's saying. Literally just ignore it and either ask another question or make a comment or something, Just be out of the box. If you're gonna be boring, you're not gonna get girls to respond. But if you've got an entertaining conversation, that's exactly how you keep them engaged and get them more likely to go on a date, or, because they go, oh, this guy's different. He's interesting. He's not one of the other 35 guys in my DMs. He might be actually, worth seeing. And straight away, that's within, a few messages. Straight away, you've actually got her attention. But, generally, if you don't, you got to maintain their interest. So that's why I don't like to keep my texting going too long with girls. You know, like it's very easy to just keep texting, and all of a sudden she's bored because, you know, texting, really, that's all she does all day. So it's, you know, you keep them engaged. That's the first one. Now the second one kind of ties into this a little bit, but if she's not interested in you in the first place, good luck. Because she's not going to want to date, you know, message someone she's not interested in, you know? Especially if you are trying to date. If you're just being friendly or whatever, then sure. But, you know, if she's not actually interested in you, like you've maybe, you know, DM from Instagram, or, you know, you haven't actually got no number, you know, through cold approaching or whatever it is. But, you know, she might just give you her number just because she doesn't want to embarrass you, whatever. But she's got to be actually interested in you. And, you know how they say pretty privilege. You can say what you want when a girl's interested in you. And I still believe that. But, you know, don't go just saying random things in the DMs of 10 out of 10s. Especially if you aren't a high level man yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, try and get at least a small idea that she could be interested in you. You know? It seems like it's a simple thing and quite obvious, but a lot of guys overlook it. And, you know, like, you know, the high school crush, you know, you may be super interested in them, but if it's not the other way, you know, all the best. It's so much more difficult. Now, I want to just speak on the topic of replying fast, because I've heard a lot of conflicting information online about, you know, whether you should reply quickly or slowly, or wait, you know, exactly 7 minutes and 28 seconds before you reply, and, you know, double the time she takes to respond to you, double it before you reply, and whatever. Just don't reply. All this bullshit, okay? Basically, what I've found is you gotta be genuine. Don't try and manufacture, you know, replying fast on purpose or whatever, you know? If you're on your phone or you're not working and she texts you, reply straight away. No reason not to. But if you are working or doing something and she messages you, well, first of all, you shouldn't have your notifications on, so you shouldn't notice especially when you're working in your deep work. And, you know, she has to wait. And, you know, if you forget about it, big whoop. You're not being sorry, you're just working. You get carried away working. That's honestly a really good problem to have. If you forget to reply to girls because you're busy working, you've won. You've won, okay? So don't try and overcomplicate, you know, trying to think, oh, how long should I have to wait to reply to her? Oh no, I replied too quick, you know? But, you know, if you're on your phone, you know, you might be I like to have a bit of a scroll on social media or check my fucking analytics having lunch or whatever. Or, you know, you're already on your phone for whatever reason, and you see you get a message from her, you know, just reply to that shit real quick. There's no harm, there's nothing harm about that, because you're already just on your phone. But if you're going on your phone to specifically reply to her when you're doing something objectively more important, then no. That's when you start to see, you know, people looking desperate. And that's the worst thing that's the only reason why you don't reply super quick all the time. Because, you know, you seem like you haven't got anything going. You know, you're not doing anything. You're just sitting around being lazy. That's super unattractive, because, you know, young men, ambitious, we're supposed to be, you know, making a name for ourselves and building a successful life. We don't just sit around, do we? And that's basically what the vibe is when you are always replying quick all the time. You know? It's that neediness, which is such a turn off for women. So, you know, just don't try to reply, take a certain amount of time to reply. If it's convenient and you're, you know, just reply. If not, you know, whatever. Forget. Literally just don't even think about it. Now, the last thing, and probably the most important thing, is don't overcomplicate things. When you're talking to her, especially if she's, you know, out of your league, when no one's out of your league, bro. That's just a bit of bullshit, you know? If you've attracted her, you're good enough. So if you're talking, and you start thinking about, oh, what do I say? I don't know what to say. You're overthinking it, you know? You should just let it flow and kind of just get in that flow state. It's a bit, you know, difficult to describe, but, you know, take her off the pedestal because, you know, that's where the overcomplicating starts. And just, you know, genuine. If she likes you for you, she'll like the way that you text, you know? Don't try and come off as super mysterious or, you know, this alpha Chad or, you know, someone you're not. Literally, just don't think about it too much. You know, if you're not actively texting her, don't think about it. It's a lot more difficult than what it sounds, but don't think about it too much. If you're texting her, you know, just whatever comes to mind first, pretty much. That's the easiest way I've found. Just, you know, whatever comes to mind. You don't need these smooth pickup lines or whatever. You know, all this stupid stuff you see on fucking Instagram reels of people rizzing up chicks, you know? It's really inauthentic, you know? Now, if you are naturally good, then yeah, sure. But don't go and try and just pretend to have all this rizz. Because, you know, as soon as you come to meet them in person and you've got no game, they're gonna be like, and then you're just gone. So just be yourself, message exactly how you would. Now, I'm gonna say this with big asterisks, how you message the boys. Don't go and fucking get yourself arrested, because I know what the group chats are like. My group chats are no different. But, you know, as if they were like, you know, did you see if they're into sports, you know, you're both basketball fans. You know, did you see the NBA scores? LeBron and KD absolutely cooked fucking Serbia the other day. The Olympics, you know, that kind of stuff. Just be genuine, you know. If you know, tell her about things you care about, and, you know, just be a normal person. You don't need to be this fake person that's on the internet, whatever, you know. Just keep it simple. Literally don't think about it too much, and you'll be amazed at how well you do. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you're still here at the end of the video, I love you, and remember, life is what you make it.